The indie scene in gaming these days is more prominent than ever before. The sheer abundance of indie games that come out what feels like every week now is astounding, and while it's very good that anyone who's passionate about gaming can put their creation out there, there's also a negative side to this, unfortunately. There are just so damn many of these, and there's no way people will look into every single one. They'll focus their attention on the more popular ones, on those there is discussion about, which will result in a lot of really good games that just didn't make the cut, slipping away into the void. And the first ones to do so are the games that are very short. I can't help but think of them as Mayflies, so you can experience them, forget about them, and move on to other things all within one day. With this video series, I'd like to try and shed some spotlight on games like that, because as far as I'm concerned, a lot of these indie Mayflies are well worth checking out. Today I'd like to bring your attention to a game called Inside My Radio. Developed by French company 7 Studios, it originated as a submission for Ludum Dare, a game development competition where it won several awards and was then fleshed out as a full game around 2015. Inside My Radio is a unique blend of two genres, 2D platformers and rhythm games. It takes place inside a malfunctioning boombox, and your mission is to find the source of its issues and fix it, while also bringing your own music into the mix. You take control of this little LED fellow, and your every action, apart from moving, has to be done in rhythm with the music, and that's what the platforming challenges are all designed around. Whether you need to jump on a moving platform, or dash through an obstacle, or do a ground pound, all of that has to be done to the music's beat, and the game's soundtrack is directly tied to that. Every action you perform makes a specific sound, not just contributing to the melody but actively writing it as you progress through the stage, and because you can only do it to the music's rhythm, it never feels out of place. Said music comes in three flavors: electronic, disco, and dubstep. There are probably more descriptive terms for that, but you'll have to forgive me because I'm absolutely illiterate when it comes to music. I'm utterly in love with this OST though. This game almost never does anything for way too long. It rapidly switches from one type of gameplay to the next, and not just the conventional ones. Sometimes you'll be doing simple platforming, other times you'll engage in rhythm mini-games, maybe some bullet hell stuff will happen at some point. One of the stages literally has you tinker with the soundtrack as you pull switches and whatnot to make a path forward, and there are also boss battles which all differ from one another and are very cool. Inside My Radio is a ton of fun. The only catch here is its length. It takes 2 to 3 hours to beat and offers very little in terms of replayability. In certain stages you can influence the music in significant ways, but that's about it. There are no collectibles or secrets or anything of that kind here. With that being said, however, that didn't stop me from spending over 9 hours in it so far. I've returned to it time and time again just to listen to sketchy music some more. Which leads to the issue of the OST not really being a set of specific melodies. The gameplay sounds are such a huge part of them that there's no way to actually replicate what you're hearing in the game as separate tracks in your playlist. If you buy Inside My Radio's soundtrack, you essentially get remixed versions of the in-game tunes that feature all of the same elements but arranged in a different way. So when I feel like listening to the parts I like the most, I have no choice but to go and replay the game. That's a good problem to have, but it's kind of inconvenient at the same time. The other thing is the price point. Everybody has a different outlook on this subject, but 10 to 15 bucks for a 2-hour experience with very little encouraged replayability might seem like a tough sell. I know I waited until I saw it on sale. I didn't really know if I was going to like it or not. Now, as I'm sure you can see from this video, I'm a huge fan of this game, and I'd most likely pay full price for it again if I wanted to pick it up on a different system, but of course you might not be in the same boat. I can't decide for you if it's worth the regular price of admission, but if you see it on sale, I would definitely recommend you grab it. As a great example of an indie Mayfly, Inside My Radio is an experience you probably haven't heard of before, but I encourage you to at least look into it. I think it's brilliant in more ways than one and is well worth checking out. It's out on pretty much everything you might have: PC, PS4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, even Wii U, but no matter what you play it on, always remember to listen carefully and move your head to the beat of the music.